In this video, we will talk about the richest person in the Norway.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into the story of someone truly remarkable, one of these huge figures in global business. We're talking about a person who built an empire, honestly, by sailing straight into danger zones, making massive bets when everyone else was, running away. Our mission today is really to get past the headlines, to understand how one man built this multi-billion-dollar fortune. We're talking John Fredriksen, maybe better known to some as the King of Tankers. We want to look at the surprising moves, the key moments, the sheer audacity.
Exactly. And it's more than just a tale of riches. I mean, understanding someone like Fredriksen gives you such insight into global economics. It's key to grasping how the maritime industry actually works, the strategy behind global trade, and how these incredibly high-stakes decisions by just one person can ripple out across the world. It's a fascinating case study, really.
Okay, let's really unpack this then, right from the start. John Fredriksen. Norwegian-born, now a Cypriot shipping magnate, currently the wealthiest person in Norway, I believe. Net worth over, $17 billion? It's staggering. But to understand how he got there, we need to go back. He was born in Oslo in 1944. And his path into this huge empire, it didn't actually begin with owning ships, no. It started with something, maybe more fundamental, but really insightful, oil trading. And this wasn't just like a first job, it was his education. He learned the ins and outs of supply and demand, market volatility, the immense complexity of moving oil globally. Imagine learning the heartbeat of the energy market from the ground up. That knowledge turned out to be absolutely crucial. So it wasn't too long before he moved from just trading the stuff to owning the ships that moved it. He got his first tankers in the 1970s. Looking back, that seems like the absolute foundation for everything, right? Laying the groundwork for this massive empire he'd built.
Right. And you have to remember the 70s, especially for oil, it was a period of massive upheaval.
Yeah.
Geopolitically, I mean.
Yeah.
You had embargoes, price shocks.
Yeah.
It completely reshaped global power. Oil was everything, the lifeblood of industry. So for Fredriksen, buying tankers then wasn't just buying assets. It was deeply strategic. It put him right in the middle of global trade flows, letting him capitalize on that growing energy demand when things were so uncertain. This early start in both the commodity and the logistics, it gave him this unique edge, understanding the what and the how, and that set him up for his next moves, which were, even bolder.
Yeah, this is where the story gets really intense, jaw-dropping, honestly. We're moving into the 1980s now, the Iran-Iraq War. Just picture the Persian Gulf then. It's the main artery for oil, but it's an active war zone. Most shipping companies, understandably, they pulled out. Too dangerous. Constant threat of attack.
Insurance costs went through the roof, too.
Exactly. And finding crews willing to sail there, almost impossible. But Fredriksen, he saw opportunity where everyone else just saw, unacceptable risk. The sources are pretty clear on this. He made a huge amount of money by taking these massive risks, moving oil out of those war-torn areas. Think about how that worked. While others protected their new, expensive ships, Fredriksen might have used older ones that were maybe fully depreciated.
Wait, the financial risk profile was different.
Totally different. So he could demand these incredibly high freight rates, sometimes double the normal rate, because who else was going to do it?
He was one of the few operators willing, or maybe even able, to deliver in those conditions.
Yeah, this fearless approach, almost defiant. It wasn't just about moving oil, it was about doing it when basically no one else would, proving himself again and again in the toughest conditions. And that unflinching willingness to operate in active combat zones, sometimes literally under fire, that's what earned him the nickname. He became famous in the industry as the King of Tankers. Not just for the volume, but for the sheer nerve and strategic brilliance under pressure.
What's really fascinating here, though, isn't just the risk-taking itself, it's the strategic mind behind it. Making those gambles pay off consistently. I mean, this wasn't just being reckless, it was calculated. Extreme risk, yes, but potentially enormous reward. During that war, the world still needed oil, right? And demand didn't stop. But the supply routes were choked by being one of the very few willing to operate there. Fredriksen could pretty much name his price. So that period, it didn't just make him incredibly wealthy, it cemented his reputation. He was the guy who could deliver when no one else could, or would. It really highlights something critical in business, doesn't it? That ability to make huge decisions under insane pressure. And crucially, turning a global crisis into a defining moment for his business. It really set him apart. A unique force in the maritime world. Just a masterful combination of nerve, logistics, and market sense.
So, okay, he's proven himself in this incredibly high-stakes environment, earned the title King of Tankers. He could have just stopped there, right? Enjoyed the spoils. But, empire builders rarely seem content with just one thing, do they? His vision was clearly bigger. He saw the need to branch out.
Diversification, yes.
Yeah.
Spreading the risk, but also spreading the influence across other critical sectors.
Exactly. So today, his interests go way beyond just oil tankers. Look at Seadrill. That's a major player in offshore drilling.
Mm-hmm. Deep water stuff.
Right, not just any drilling. We're talking advanced, ultra-deepwater drill ships, semi-submersibles, operating thousands of feet down, often in really tough environments, extracting oil and gas. Then you've got Mowi, which isn't just a fish farming company, it's one of the world's biggest seafood companies, a leader in sustainable salmon farming.
From genetics right through to processing and global sales. It's huge.
Yeah, the whole supply chain. And then there's Golden Ocean Group, a major dry bulk company. These are the massive ships, the Capesize, the Panamax, the workhorses carrying iron ore, coal, grain, the absolute basics of the global economy.
And if you connect those dots, you see the strategy, right? It's a really deep understanding that the world needs more than just energy. With Seadrill, he's right there at the source extracting resources. With Mowi, he's in the global food chain, aquaculture, which is increasingly vital and sustainable too. And Golden Ocean, moving the raw materials that literally build and power everything. It's fundamental. So this multi-pronged approach, it's not just diversification for its own sake. It often acts as a hedge. If oil prices dip, maybe Seadrill feels it, but the lower fuel costs could actually help Golden Ocean, or maybe even impact the food market dynamics Mowi operates in. It just reinforces his position as this dominant force, not just in one corner of shipping, but across these fundamental global industries, energy, food, materials. It really shows his knack for spotting and capitalizing on these essential long-term global needs, building this interconnected, resilient empire.
So, beyond the business deals and the fleets, what about the Mac? We know John Fredriksen is famously private, which is pretty impressive when you're worth over $17 billion and operate on such a global stage, right? Keeping your personal life out of the papers.
What it feeds. Yes.
But one thing sources do mention is his passion for art. Apparently, he's a serious collector of Norwegian art, which is, a small but kind of interesting glimpse into his personal side, maybe a quiet link back to his roots, despite, other big decisions he's made. And one of those really significant decisions, both personal and financial, was getting Cypriot citizenship back in 2006. Sources are very clear. This meant he gave up his Norwegian nationality.
Right.
And they're also clear on the stated reason, straight from the source. It was for tax reasons. A strategic move, no doubt, but one with huge personal and financial implications. It really shows the kinds of choices people with extreme wealth sometimes face about where they base themselves, where their allegiance lies financially.
Yeah, and it raises that interesting point, doesn't it? Not judging, just observing. What does it tell us about how extreme wealth interacts with international citizenship and economics? It just highlights the mobility of capital and people in today's world. For someone operating on Fredriksen's scale, choosing where you're domiciled, your citizenship, that can dramatically change your tax situation. We're talking corporate taxes, income tax, inheritance tax, the works. So picking a place like Cyprus, known for, let's say, favorable tax rules, is a way to optimize the financial structure within international law. It's just a fact of global finance. This intricate dance between national identity, personal wealth, and the global financial system. These decisions are often about maximizing efficiency for huge multinational operations. It's common, though sometimes debated,